kind of upset about the whole thing.
All right, Ken, can you tell me what happened?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You see, the camera doesn't lie, and the police arrested the thugs that attacked him. But what's sick is literally hundreds of reports are pouring in where you have ragtag libertarians, conservatives, liberals that have figured out Obama's a liar, people showing up to say Obama don't have indefinite detention. They're beating them up. Now, if you don't want Obama to go into Pakistan, they run up and call you a racist. If you're black, they run up and scream racist and then beat you. And then black people stand by clapping as white people beat black people and scream the N-word. I mean, these videos are coming out of women being attacked, savaged. In some cases, the police are backing up the union thugs. In other cases, they're doing the right thing. This happened outside St. Louis. Remember during the campaign we played the newscast where the police went on the news and said, if you talk bad about Obama, we're going to arrest you? I mean, that's 180 degrees the opposite of what our country's founded on. And I stood up to Bush when he had the free speech zones and tried to restrict free speech. I'm standing up against this now, and I've made videos about how Republicans and Democrats are being booed off the stage. Americans are mad. We're going into a depression here. But the media only makes it about people protesting Democrats to get the two parties fighting with each other. Now, I had 2 videos removed that were viral on the front page of YouTube. Hundreds of thousands of hits a day is what they were getting. Hundreds of thousands of views a day. A lot of you probably saw it on the front page of YouTube yesterday, where I was pointing this out, saying, let's come together. People saying it's racist to not want a carbon tax. They're using a political weapon, creating racism, pointing it out to get everybody fighting with each other. And most Obama supporters are waking up. His approval rating's gone from 84 down to the mid-40s now. The media spins it and says, well, it's at 50, but most polls show about 44 to 45. So they're panicking now. And most of his supporters are waking up. But a lot of them are getting aggressive. And, folks, I've been running into longtime friends that suddenly look at me like I'm Adolf Hitler. I mean, and I've had to stand up to them, and then they kind of shake out of it because they're so self-righteous. As soon as I stand up to them and say, you know I stood up against George Bush, you know that's a load of bull, you know you've been, then they start kind of, and I go, this is a Don King fight where the establishment owns both fighters, Republican and Democrat. But side issue. We found out that the Acorn-connected groups, because we even see who's bragging they file complaints on their channels. We have them listed in the article up on Infowars.com. We discovered they're filing fake complaints saying we're calling for violence and for hate crimes. We're not even talking about race in these videos, except saying let's all come together, black, white, everybody be friends. They don't want that. Now, how telling is that? I want to go to Kenneth Gladney, and I appreciate his lawyer, David B. Brown. We had him on first, even before Fox and other channels, Friday, but there's been new developments since then. Who wants to comment first on the points I made and then go through? Now it's clear we have White House memos saying report on neighbors, tell us if anybody's criticizing Obama. They're saying people are on thin ice. Talk show hosts may get shut down in press conferences. I mean, this is really starting to freak me out. Who'd like to comment on this craziness first?
Well, you know, there's been a pattern of events in the last week and months before that. But it's kind of ironic that over this past year there have been no real reports of violence at any Tea Party events. There's been no real reports of violence prior to last week of any violence at any town hall meetings held by any representatives. But then starting Tuesday, when HCAN, which is the Healthcare Now organization, Healthcare for America Now organization, which is comprised of ACORN and AFL-CIO, SEIU, and a number of other organizations, have come down with a memo instructing activists to contact elected officials before events to plan ways to preempt any type of opposition. And when they say opposition, they mean people who want to exercise their freedom of speech. Once that went down, there's a report from the AP that David Axelrod and Jim Messina had traveled to the Capitol for their presentation to Democratic senators regarding these town halls. the senators saw videos of disruptions at events held by the House members, and were told to organize these events more carefully, as well as work with labor unions, other friendly groups to generate enthusiasms. And then Messina comes out with and says, if you get hit, we will punch you back twice as hard. And this is only stirring up and inflaming the passions on both sides for conflict. Then we go to the New York Times, and it shows where AFL-CIO President John Sweeney comes out and tells everybody that they need to reclaim our democracy, according to a statement.
And they're also putting out videos since Doggett got confronted 8 days ago, last Saturday, where they show Doggett and say it was all fake. There's one problem. I randomly, because I live in Southwest Austin, one of my dad's employees was there, who's a Democrat, because she got a letter, and my neighbor was there grocery stopping at Randall's and saw it. It wasn't staged. These were Austinites who were angry. But you know what's incredible about this? Is that they're now beating people up, and the first report spun this in a nebulous fashion like it might have been your client's fault, and they're now trying to say your client attacked 4 people, even though there's multiple video angles of this, and the police arrested the people that cold-bloodedly attacked him. Tell us what happened to your client, Mr. Brown, who's about to be on with us. He's on with us right now, Kenneth Gladney, and then we'll get it directly from the person who was assaulted by people in their union uniforms.
Well, Kenneth was just trying to make a little money that day, and he was out there selling these Gadsden flags, the Tea Party flags. Kenneth is, and they try to paint him as a conservative, and Ken is an independent. Ken has his own thoughts and an individual. He doesn't subscribe to the beliefs of any party. He's outside of that context there. Kenneth was just doing his job. He was viciously attacked by one member who called him the N-word. He went to the ground after he was punched, and then he was pummeled by 2 other SEIU members and another person. And Kenneth weighs, I think, about 149 pounds. So when they spin it and they say that he attacked 4 people, and they probably weigh an aggregate of over 800 pounds with 8 arms to his 2 arms, when he's trying to make a living, they're the ones that have the inflamed passion. Kenneth was there to try to make a living. So for them to... So
that's another issue. The media, now that's clear, said he was handing out flyers with flags on them. He was there neutrally just selling some flags.
It's like a guy selling hot dogs at the baseball game.
That's like the guy that got killed at the G20 selling newspapers, and the cops got caught covering up. They beat his brains in.
It's like the guy selling hot dogs. He might not even care if the Yankees or the Red Sox win. He just wants to sell his hot dogs, and that's where Kenneth was. And I think Kenneth could elaborate more on his mindset and what he saw.
Let's bring Kenneth up, who is a black American. Mm-hmm. And, man, these big guys, I mean, I'm a good-sized guy. These were, like, huge guys just are wailing and slamming him in the ground.
Yeah,
Thank God.
They were pretty big. They were pretty big guys. And actually...
And screaming the N-word at you. Tell folks what happened.
Yeah, well, like I stated before, I was there just setting up, getting ready to hand out my flags and my buttons and stuff like that. So one guy from the union, I was talking to a pastor's wife, and one guy from the union, he stepped up and said, "Who in the F is giving out this stuff here?" And I said, "Sir, this is my merchandise, and would you like a flag?" I even offered him a flag. He said, "Well, what kind of N are you to be giving out this F and stuff?"
Stay there, sir. We got a break. I want to come right back to you. Brutally, racially assaulted, and the media spun it, and now they're getting sued, and they're going to jail.